All right, we're talking movies. This is Cakes.
Swank.
Dave.
All right, last movie you saw, Dave. What'd you see?
I went to The Beasts of the Southern Wild last night, and it was a story about a child and a group of people, and it's very fairy tale-esque, so very enjoyable, pretty heartwarming. I enjoyed it, but
Good.
Cool. You compared it to Where the Wild Things Are. Is that correct?
yeah, I mean it's a little bit like that in that it's a kid's tale, but it's also has some very real life issues like just like flooding and not having a home. So they kind of combine the fantastical like perspective of a kid with like a true story. So
Any notable actors in that?
I guess I didn't recognize, but sometimes it's better that way.
Yeah, definitely. Swank. Last movie you saw.
A movie that's currently streaming on Netflix called The Hunter, starring Willem Dafoe and an actor I really like named Sam Neill.
Love that guy too.
Where has he been?
Yeah, I don't know. He's doing the Merlin TV series, I guess. Yeah, Willem Dafoe is a mercenary of sorts who's been hired to go to, I think it's Tasmania, but to try and find the last Tasmanian tiger, which has been said to be extinct. It's a pretty interesting thriller. I would suggest checking it out.
Could you compare it to another movie?
I don't know. I was trying to think of that when I was talking with other people about it, but it's would call it a thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to see that. I think just about any movie with Sam Neill I'll go and see because I know it gets messed up at some point. It's just weird and unpredictable. So
Definitely. Well, I watched Salmon Fishing in Yemen this weekend. New DVD release. Weird name, and that's actually really what that movie's about. It's kind of all about a little experiment that the British government tries to do. It is a BBC film, so there's a cheeky warning for you, but very good. Emily Blunt, Ewan McGregor. I thought it was very good. You know, it was kind of billed as like a romantic comedy drama type of thing. I thought there's definitely certain funny parts and pretty good dramatic parts. I thought the romance was a little weak in there, you know, but I don't know, it all worked out in the end, and it certainly was an interesting story. Kind of a British version of Wag the Dog to some aspects, but not that broad. They're just basically, it's kind of the whole scheme of the movie is kind of a PR stunt to make relationships between the Middle Eastern countries and the Brits look good. But yeah, pretty good. I also watched an 1982 classic called The Diner. Been sitting on it for a while. I just thought I'd pop it in. It's got a bunch of notable people. Kevin Bacon, Mickey Rourke, Gutenberg, Paul Reiser. Paul Reiser acting exactly the same as he does in every other thing. And I think one of the brothers from Wings too. I can't remember his name. But it was really good. It was just about some young 20-something friends from high school. You know, the movie's just really about friendship and kind of I hate the term coming of age story, but it's kind of, that's what it is. It's basically, them as friends coming to terms with adulthood and trying to figure out how they should act now, and it's pretty good. It's I think Barry Levinson movie, one of his first ones. It's supposed to be semi-autobiographical, so kind of dialogue heavy, but pretty good. I certainly want to watch it again. remakes. We talked a little bit last time about remakes. I thought we'd maybe get back into that. Why do they remake movies, Dave?
Well,
And where is Weekend at Bernie's 3, darn it?
man, there's a lot of different reasons involving money for remaking movies, which I don't agree with because
Cha-ching.
I'm more interested in the integrity that the film medium has to offer and has had to offer for us for like ever since we've been making them.
Could you define integrity? No, I'm just kidding. I definitely agree with your integrity statement. I feel like people just don't have original ideas anymore. They just, it's like, oh, we're gonna remake this because we need to make money, or we're lazy, and all people already know about this and love this movie, so we're gonna do this. Or I can certainly appreciate that somebody maybe wants to do a movie and has a different twist on it, or like same kind of story, different time period, But yeah, it seems to be just kind of a money game.
Yeah. I guess there are some instances like when like Let the Right One In. Did you guys see that?
I had not known.
That was a Swedish one, and then the American remake was Let Me In. I guess I didn't see the American remake, come to think of it now. But sometimes they remake movies so that they can have them so people don't have to read subtitles.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that last week too. I enjoy both those movies. Let the Right One In and Let Me In. I think they're both. I mean, Let Me In might be a little unnecessary and a little too early just to remake, kind of like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which we talked about last time
Sure.
too, because both those movies are great. They're extremely different from each other. And yeah, there's no subtitles, so I guess that got more people to pique more people's interest.
Well, I heard that like Let the Right One In. Somebody told me that Let Me In was like very similar, like almost shot for shot at some points. I think I saw some of it and like just like the very beginnings of it, but I don't know. I mean, because sometimes like with Rec and Quarantine, that movie Quarantine was shot for shot with the original movie was called Rec, R-E-C, like record, and that was the original Spanish movie, but they really did that shot for shot, and then they put more of a twist on the ending, and it just seems a little bit trite, a little bit tacked on, and then I mean you definitely don't see as much like expression in the cinematography, and then when that ending just seems to be put there, it seems less meaningful, I guess. It's easier to see the meaning in an original picture, obviously, but
The thing that I kind of found so impressive about the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series is the Swedes pounded those out in like 2 years. They did all 3 of those movies in 2 years. I mean, maybe it was a little longer than that, but I mean, they all came out just boom, 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 and they were all just awesome. And then it seemed like it took 2 years for that first American one to be made. I mean, obviously there's different funding or whatever. It was kind of the Swede story to tell, so they wanted to get it out there. But yeah, no, and that being said, they're both still very, very fine movies. I can't wait to see the next American one.
And I think it's gonna be a couple of years before that comes out
Yeah.
too, because I mean they're still trying to work the script out. I guess that's the last that I read, and I mean there's no 2013 release date set. So I mean I'm hoping that it gets because just knowing how the story plays out, I really want to see it with the American actors now. But let's see how.
Yeah,
it plays out.
the segue, because they were made in such a short amount of time, I had the pleasure of watching all 3 of them within, probably within a month span. So the segue that happens at the end of the second one that goes into the third one is just intense, and that whole third movie is just, the second movie, like the last half hour is just crazy, and then the whole third movie just keeps going. So, yeah, they got a lot to live up to there, definitely. I think we talked a little bit last time too about how technology is maybe a different reason they remake movies. Think about the Peter Jackson King Kong. Obviously, that's going to be a little more visually appealing than the 1933 version. They're both still very good movies, but that I guess I really appreciated that King Kong. Was that 2003? Maybe.
I don't
I don't know.
remember.
Whatever.
6.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's 6.
But anyway, you know what we're talking about, the new Peter Jackson one. That was a very, very good movie. Talked a little bit last time too. I quit saying that about RoboCop. They're supposed to be making another RoboCop movie. I think,
Darren Aronofsky, he's supposed to do it.
In the first inkling of it, yes, but he decided to better himself and take himself out of that equation.
I think it's Bobcat Goldthwait. No, I don't know. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not sure who it is, but that's certainly a movie that with advances in technology, I think can certainly have its advantages. If it falls in the right hands. And Gary Oldman is in it, so. And Sam Jackson. So we can hope for the best. But anyway, any other thoughts on remaking movies?
I've got plenty of them.
Saw they're remaking Red Dawn. I saw a thing for that in the theater.
Yeah, I saw
tonight.
3 for that too. It looks.
Have you guys seen the original? I have not.
I have not either,
Okay.
but I kind of want to now.
So maybe we can go watch the original and then go see the new one in the theater and just be really snotty about it.
Oh, that's great.
I've heard excellent things about the original. I don't know. It seems like a movie that was made at a time and a place where it needed to be, and now they're remaking it. So.
It's got Thor in it though.
Oh boy.
That just seems like a weird one though. Like, I kind of wonder how it's gonna be. Like just being further away from the Cold War and like that sentiment.
Mhm.
So, because it's about Russians invading
Yeah.
America, so.
It'll be a history lesson for today's youth, maybe we'll say that.